Alright, so this is a 100% working iPhone 5s, and today in 2018, anyone can pick this thing up for less than $80. Now, after 5 years of use, is this one worth the $80? Let's find out. Now, before getting into any details, I'll be actually giving away this model if we hit 1500 likes to someone from the comment section down below, so stay tuned for that. Now, the iPhone 5s has to be the best design from Apple. It's a really good looking phone, you can't deny that, and it's one of the few phones that can stand upright. I love that. Now, in terms of size, this phone is definitely smaller than what we are used to. It has a 4-inch display, which is pretty small compared to flagships of today, and if you are coming from a bigger screen size like I did, it will take some getting used to. Everything feels a little small and just cramped together for the first few days, but after that you'll get used to that. Now, as a positive, since this thing is so small, it's a great phone for one-hand use, fits very comfortably, and you can have this thing in your pocket without even knowing it's there. So I can imagine this thing being a great fit for a lot of people, and especially for the price. Now, these days we are moving towards phones that are almost bezel-less, but this thing has a big forehead and a big chin. So that's definitely a downfall and what makes this phone feel a little old. But still, even in 2018, a majority of people are using phones with big bezels, so it shouldn't be a problem for at least the next few years. Now, for the build quality, we have a full metal body with a glass finish on top and the bottom. And it's definitely a really solid phone and feels really premium holding it in hand. Now, this is an aluminium body and the metal is a little bit soft, so it's easy to get some small scuffs and dents on this thing, so you'll be better off having a case if you don't want any bends or any dents on your phone. So the model I have, which was purchased the day it came out, so it's a little more than 5 years old, is in pretty good condition even after the 5 years, besides some small scuffs and scratches. So if you take good care of your phone or have a case on, you should be fine for the most part. I even had this thing drop countless times with the case on and the screen is just fine. So overall, for build quality, it's definitely a really premium phone and you're getting a lot for the money. I can't think of a single thing the iPhone X can do and the 5s can when it comes to daily usage. Sure, you might get some fancy features like Face ID, but practically you can do everything on the 5s without spending $1,500 on something like the iPhone X. It's still running on the latest iOS 11, which is the exact same software as the iPhone X, and performance wise, there's two ways of looking at this. If you will be comparing this thing to the latest flagship, sure, you'll be disappointed, but if you compare this to the price and the value for money, this phone won't bring you down. It's definitely not as fast and snappy as the iPhone X, apps take a little bit to load up, and you definitely need to be a little more patient with this thing. But the good news is, once the app is up and running, you won't really feel a big difference. Now, if we talk numbers, it probably just takes a second or two longer to load content, but it's definitely enough time that you feel it. Playing some light games and some heavy games both work perfectly fine. I didn't really have any glitches or any issues for the most part. But now, every once in a while, you will feel the phone is a little laggy, and all I did was basically just restart the phone and it will be back to normal. Or you can try to clear the RAM by holding the power button until this screen pops up and then hold the home button until the screen disappears. And that will help you clear the RAM and make sure your system is fast and smooth. Now, that was performance side of things, but for me personally, camera is also a big factor, especially with all the hype around Snapchat and Instagram. And for the camera, we have a 1.2 megapixel front facing camera, which honestly is just enough to get the job done, but I won't really have any high expectations from it, and it does perform pretty bad in low light condition. The back camera, which is 8 megapixels, is actually pretty good for the phone. I mean, if I take a picture from the iPhone X and the iPhone 5s and upload both pictures on Snapchat, I haven't noticed a big difference after the pictures have been compressed. So if you are taking pictures on Snapchat or Instagram, the 8 megapixel camera on this thing would be just fine. But if you take raw pictures from your actual phone, the quality would be so-so. But still, I wouldn't complain considering how cheap this thing is. So overall, after using it for a full week, there's definitely some features I missed like Apple Pay, but honestly I got pretty comfortable with speed and performance within a few days. And as a bonus, you still have a headphone jack with this thing. My only two main concerns with this phone would be the battery life and the storage. The battery is so-so, and I mean, I'm not surprised, it's a pretty old phone. But if you're using this as your daily driver, taking it to school or work, you'll probably need a power bank with you. And if that's a little too much, I'll definitely recommend changing your batteries, and it won't cost you anything more than $20, and you can change them yourself, it's pretty easy. And my other concern would be the storage, so if you're getting this phone, definitely stay away from the 16 gig base storage, period. As of my recommendation, I would say you can get away with the 32 gigs model, but definitely get as much storage as you possibly can. And besides that, it's a great value for money even in 2018. I can't think of any other phone you can get factory unlocked for less than $80 with such premium build quality like this one. And yeah guys, that will be it for today. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about this phone in a comment down below and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.